Kalshi, the online prediction site, is giving away $1 billion to a person who creates a perfect bracket this March. Despite the odds being about 1 in 122 billion, many Americans are now scrambling to create the perfect bracket. Don't worry, your pick of McNeese over Vanderbilt is definitely correct. Have been fun winning a bit over one Shohei Ohtani contract. Welcome to the Moon Sam Cast. I am Jordan. This is the I will make 120.2 billion brackets to my That Boy Nice bracket. Brian, how are you? And also, welcome back.
Thank you. I've got two quick things I need to tell you that I saved for the podcast, and I didn't tell you beforehand. One, on I almost called it a honeymoon. It was my 1 year anniversary trip. So I have no idea what was going on. I just went to a mountain, sat in a cabin for a week. I have no idea what's going on in the sports world. So you're going to have to inform me on everything. Number two, and arguably more important, you're recovering from being sick. I'm violently hungover.
Well, so long week in Jordan world. I feel like my mouth looks weird, but whatever. It's kind of weird. I had a blocked salivary gland, which I didn't really know was a thing that could happen until this past week. So if you're listening to the podcast, apologies if I start to slur my words or have problems because I'm still kind of inflamed on my left side here. So yeah, I didn't do much this. Like I watched some basketball this weekend, but I had a hard time watching basketball this weekend because I was in pain. I was in so much pain Friday night. Also, why are you hungover? Is you hungover from vacation?
No, we went pretty hard Sunday night. We went out for like one last little yay spring break before you go back to work, and we went to Rupor, and they have a nice whiskey selection. And I got a flight, and then the guy kind of knows us. Like we go in there like every 3 months or so, but he knows I'm a big whiskey guy, and he gave me like 4 sips or like samples, and they were each like 1 ounce. So I had like 9. No, I had like because one of them was 2, probably like 7 or 8 ounces of whiskey at dinner. So that's in an hour and a half. And then we were like, we're going to go home, and we have every year during our anniversary when we were dating, and now that we're married, we will watch Pride and Prejudice. Fucking amazing movie. And I will.
Is it the BBC Pride and Prejudice? Which Pride and Prejudice? Is the
movie.
Okay, the Keira Knightley movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. God, the father in that is one of my favorite characters of all time, and he's President Snow in Hunger Games.
Well, hold on. That's the one with Tom Walmsgams in it, correct? So did you never watch Succession?
No.
Okay, there's a guy in there, and his name is Tom Walmsgams. In the you've probably seen a clip of him before, but he's also in Pride and Prejudice. I think I could be so wrong. I know he's in some like post-classical British thing, where it's like he's like in love. So I don't know which one it is.
What'd you say? What
Tom? It's his name. I don't know what his real name is. It's Tom Walmsgams is the actor or the character's name. It's played by Matthew McFadden. There we go. Who?
Oh, Mr. Darcy.
Mr. Darcy, yes.
He was
in Mr. Darcy, and so he plays a completely different character. But it's very fun to watch, and I very much like it. So it's always funny when someone brings it up because I'm like, Mr. Darcy is Tom Walmsgams, but whatever.
But we do a drinking game with that, where every time someone says Mr. Darcy or marriage gets brought up, you take a sip of whatever you were drinking. Brian decided not to drink beer and to do that with whiskey, and he's been hungover for 2 days.
Good for Brian, honestly.
Brian is a 30-year-old, and he's feeling it.
Bro, as I approach 30, I keep telling my girlfriend's like something like, you excited for your birthday? I'm like, if I make it, if I make it there. So she's asked me to stop doing that, and I'm not. I'm the one who's almost 30, not her. So, all that to say, Brian, welcome back. It is the most wonderful time of the year. You have 4 days of just 14 hours of college basketball, which rocks. It's so exciting. I'm a little upset because I'm on antibiotics right now, which means I cannot drink, which means I cannot participate in my yearly tradition of Miller High Life. Some lemon juice in there, make a little bit of shandy, and drink way too many of those over the course of the weekend. I'm not a huge drinker, but I will go crazy over the weekend where I just drink. For some reason, Miller High Life. I don't know why.
Miller High Life, baby. That's a fastball. That's just the fastball of beer. That's the champagne of beer, baby.
I don't know how it started or why it started. I think it was like it was in college or something. I don't know. It started somehow. I started. It's kind of almost sad because you drink alone. Watching Portsmouth.
The best deal in beer right now
Mhm.
is Miller High Life because you can get a 12-pack of bottles for like $9.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
crazy.
I think we've talked about this before. That we like. Listen, sometimes you just need a nice, cheap beer.
My dad is big like St. Arnold's guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then just like once a year, I'll go over to his place and I'll open the fridge and there's a 6-pack of Budweiser sitting there. I'm like, he's like, you just gotta switch it up, cheap beers, cheap something like that. And this is coming from a Coors Light guy, so
Okay.
like that's my cheap go to. Like, all right, I'm gonna have shitty beer while eating, a hot dog or whatever at a ballpark. Give me a Coors.
I will be say I don't know the last time I had a course. The only time I will ever have a course is if it's presented to me and it's free. I don't know last like I don't know, maybe because I'm not like that big of a drinker, but like sometimes I like to have drinks around. I did make my own limoncello. This is so off topic. Sorry to our new listeners who came from
No, it's not. No, it's not. We can wrap it in. We can wrap it in.
Okay.
You made limoncello.
Yes.
I forgot which one it is. Shit. Calipari is in the NCAA tournament. Italian.
Well, let me remember where Arkansas is. St. John's is in. We're talking about real Italians, by the way. Rick Pitino, real Italian.
It was Pitino. That's who I was trying to think of.
Okay.
Calipari's kind of close.
Okay, I was gonna say, do you know how Team Italy and baseball is just made like all the guys are just guys from Jersey who have grandparents
who have a vowel last to end their name.
Yeah, they have a vowel at the end of their name, and like they like say gabagool and mozzarella, or however they say it in Jersey. Do you think if there was a national team of basketball, and there are Italian basketball players for the record, but let's just say in this theoretical like World Baseball Classic version of what we're talking about, the FIBA World Cup, do you think Rick Pitino could be the coach? Because it feels like he feels like the obvious choice.
I mean, yeah, I think Italy would ask him, but I mean, I don't think Italy would ask him, but he could absolutely do it.
And this version that I've created of the FIBA World Cup.
Wait, don't we have a non-American coaching our FIFA team?
Oh yeah, but that's normal. We have Mauricio Pochettino, but that's like pretty normal.
That's pretty normal to have another ethnicity coach.
Oh yeah. Carlo Ancelotti is Brazil's coach, and he left off Neymar off their whatever sheet they have. I think it's friendlies coming up, which is a big no. So, but he's Spanish. Carlo Ancelotti's Spanish, and he's coaching the Brazilian team. It's not that crazy. Like if you're in England, it's kind of crazy, but that's because England is also they're not a very nationalistic country, except in soccer. They get really nationalistic really quickly. If you ask them about an Italian coaching their team, and I will hear slurs you haven't heard since the 1930s. They're big on Englishman coaches the English team. It's not as like for like European nation. Shout out Ted Lasso. Whereas like American managers actually really look down, but that's for the national team. For like different teams, it's okay. Like most people don't really, unless you're like a Millwall fan. Whereas like European nations, their national team is usually coached by someone of the same nationality. So German's a German, Italian's an Italian. A Polish is a Pole. France is French. It's more like America, where it's like our coaches are. We've had a lot of American coaches, and the results speak for themselves. So that's kind of where I am at. Pochettino's a pretty good coach historically. I don't know. I listen. I don't want to think about the World Cup right now. I'm eyeing off the World Baseball Classic finals tonight. I'm going off that.
Look, there's nothing more important going on in this world right now than March Madness. Okay, so we need to stick to that. And there's no weird implications of what the hell going to happen at the World Cup as well, involving some countries. It's just.
I don't know what's happening with that either at this point. I saw something like Italy might get in, which makes me sad because I like to see the Italians suffer. Because soccer, that is not just in life, in soccer.
No. I thought, why wouldn't they be in the World Cup?
Italy didn't make the World Cup.
They suck?
Yeah, they're not good anymore. Italy didn't make the World Cup. Iran is going to drop out theoretically. Apparently, I don't know if that's like they said they were, and then like I've heard rumors that they're not, and so Italy didn't make the World Cup. Apparently, Italy's like the next one in. Now it makes more sense for an Asian team be in, and it's not AFCON. What is whatever their federation's name is? It's not AFCON. I can't. It's not. There's AFCON, UEFA, the CONCACAF. It's different
Right.
regional nations or regional or not conferences. There's so many things right now, Brian. Regional federations where it makes more sense for like an Asian like national team to get in. I don't know, but I don't know who the next up is because if Iran drops out, who's the next up on their call sheet? So
It'd be very funny if it was Israel.
Israel's in UEFA, so
Oh.
that's a different story. Everything coming up in the borders don't matter. That's what you have to learn about soccer federations. Brian, as we move on, let's go from soccer to another ball game, basketball. Best transition I could think of right there. Also, Arkansas is a 4 seed. I just remember I'm still learning this bracket. It's coming slowly. Before I talk about my thoughts, do you have any thoughts on this bracket, this March Madness?
Nothing that I haven't just heard from talking heads. So just the most basic shit of this is one of the most wide open tournaments outside of Duke. Duke has one of the best KenPom things of all time. And then there's a lot of defense in one of these regions. I think it's the East. It has a lot of like heavy hitter defense.
It does. So
doesn't look good for my yearly tradition of take every over and let's see what happens.
I don't think that's a bad play. East, yes. They'll
adjust those overs to understand that they've got good defenses.
Yeah.
So they might be low over-unders.
Here's my thing this year, Brian. It is a wide open year. I've already picked who I want to win. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Who you want to win or who you think's going to win?
Who I think's going to win. Sorry. Who I want to win, who I think's going to win are two different teams. One of which I'm not really sure is going to make it that far.
Really?
Well, I say make it that far. I'm comparing historically what I mean.
What do you think? What do you think you guys get bounced?
Well, so UH is in a weird spot, and I don't mean that from like
winning it. By the way, in my bracket,
I think that's a mistake, but I really love it. That's really cute of you. Thank you.
Notre Dame, I ain't got a fucking dog in the fight. Just not Duke. That's all I ask.
It's a bit of a different year for Houston. They still are really good on defense. I want to point that out. It's just not the defense that we're used to, and they're better shooters, but they're also somewhat inconsistent. And the first 2 rounds, I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about Idaho. I'm not worried about Idaho. This is kind of weird. I didn't even learn who it was. I'm not particularly worried about the second round. I think St. Mary's is beatable. I think the Western WCC. I keep calling them the WAC. Sorry, they're all falling apart. So who cares? Is like not as good this year. St. Mary's, Gonzaga. I just don't see anything coming out of that.
Oh, really? I have. Okay, so I just pulled it up. I have Houston Gonzaga in the finals. I should switch that.
I would not choose Gonzaga for the finals. Okay. I'm not even let me see who Gonzaga. I haven't filled my bracket completely yet. I may not even have Gonzaga coming out the first weekend. So I would change that. But the thing with UH,
you don't think they're going to be Texas or NC State?
No, the first weekend. So I think they'll get beat. I think they'll beat Texas. Or NC
you think
State,
Purdue will take them out?
Well, no, who they hung? Oh yeah, no, they play BYU or BYU. They'll probably play or NC State to Texas. I think BYU is a better team than them. What bracket are you looking at? Because I see them in the West. They can play Kennesaw State, and then they can either play BYU or NC State or Texas.
Are
you looking at the CBS one? Because CBS one is not.
I was on round of 32. That is where everything was wrong.
No, I was going to say if you're looking at the CBS bracket, the CBS official bracket.
So I take a 6 or an 11 to beat a 6 every time. It should not be BYU then.
Yeah, I think BYU has questions. I think they're better than NC State or Texas. Brian, any low seed SEC team, I'd say they're going to lose. And that's not a SEC hate. That's just they put a lot of SEC teams.
Define low seed.
Like 11, 10.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anyone lower from the SEC. from there. I think Texas, if Texas wins, they may be the lowest seed from the SEC. But I don't, please check me on that. But I don't think I'm wrong. I think the SEC is, as usual, it's the same with all big conferences. There are a lot of like really top teams, and then you get to the bottom, and you're like, well, they're here too, and then you realize, well, they're not as good as the other teams. Like Missouri, kind of, not to say Missouri snuck in here, but Missouri is like 20-12, and they didn't play well during the conference portion of the season, and so like they're there, yes, because they're the worst of the best SEC teams, and that's not a bad thing. But that just means like when a Missouri beats Miami, also the ACC, I don't think it's been a good year for them. It's not been a good year for them. The problem is they're going to win. There's going to be like at least 3 or 4 of them in the Sweet 16, as there always are. The ACC always overperforms. As much as I want to use stats, you got to that boy nice this.
So I've been listening to you and adjusting as you've been talking, and this is now what I've ended up with as my final 4, and I want you to tell me if I'm crazy. Michigan State, Houston, Arizona, Michigan.
What seed is Michigan State? I've forgotten it, and yeah. Just first thoughts. Let me go through UH real quickly. UH is somewhat a weird year because I think their defense is not as good as it has been. I'm not to say it's not good. It's still just not as good as it has been. It's not the Houston defense you expect. I think they're better shooters than in the past, which is a good thing, which makes it a little bit less infuriating. They are a little inconsistent, especially in the second half. Now, what is interesting about Houston this year, and which is something that has been predicted since whenever Rice took over as the host of the South Regionals, Houston, if they make it past the first weekend, which I think they will. I think again, Idaho's fine. It's Idaho. It's a 15 seed, and then I'm not worried about St. Mary's because it's just not been a good year for that conference. Or Buckyball. I like Buckyball a lot in theory, but it's also one of the most infuriating things to watch if you're a fan of it. I'm not a fan of Texas A&M. I'm a fan of UH. If UH gets past that first weekend, which I think they will, they play the Toyota Center for the Sweet 16 in the Elite Eight, which are essentially home games because the Toyota Center is what, 5 miles, 3? Actually, no, not even 5, 2 miles. Actually, 2 miles from not Hoffman's, rest in peace, the Fertitta Center. And so my thought I've been trying to struggle with is if it is essentially a home game for 2 games and these very contentious games for Houston, does that give them that like much of an advantage? Because they have lost at home this year, which is not always Houston like. They lost to Arizona.
Yeah, but sleeping in your own beds and being in your own homes, like that's huge.
That's why like the Missouri Miami game is kind of interesting because they're playing in Missouri. They're playing it in St. Louis. And so it's the West. They're 7-10. And so my question to myself has been, and again, I haven't filled out my bracket completely. My question to myself has been, does that give them this like inherent advantage? If you go, let's say it's the Elite Eight and it's Florida versus UH. And I don't think Florida's not the Florida of last year, but Florida is still Florida. It's not, you don't have a Walter Clayton Jr. this year. You still have Emmanuel Sharp though. But I still love Emmanuel Sharp. That's not a dig. But my question to myself has been, does that give them this inherent advantage where I'm okay saying they're going to make it to the Final Four? And people pointed out to me, I'm not very good at believing in UH, mostly because I don't want to get my hopes up. So,
buddy, preaching to the fucking choir.
I know. It's easier that way. It makes life easier.
It is so much easier to go through life being a cynical bastard than it is to be optimistic.
Yeah. So
it's worse for you.
It's worse.
It's literally a bad thing to do to yourself.
I hate
but
it.
But it hurts less. All
that to say, I don't think Houston is making it to the national championship again this year.
Okay.
If they make it to the Final Four, I'm not going to be that surprised, but I'll be surprised. Like, I'm not going to be like so surprised, but I'm going to be like, oh, wow, that's fun. That's cool.
Tell you what, Let me go through my Elite Eight, and you just tell me if I'm insane or not. No advice, and I will submit this, and I won't touch it again.
Mm-hmm.
Duke, Michigan State, Nebraska, Houston, Arizona, Purdue, Michigan, Tennessee.
So a couple crazy things. I actually think Purdue is going to be easily beatable this year. They're a one-track thing, a one-track mind. Nebraska actually isn't that crazy of a pick. I don't hate Nebraska. I do think the problem with the Big Ten this year is that they play very defensively, and they don't play like. I think in the SEC Big Ten battle, you're going to see more SEC teams win because I think SEC. The goal of all the rule of thumb has always been you want a slow defensive team. I think that's true still, but I think the Big Ten, and someone's going to skewer me for this, by the way. This is not going to be a fun clip if I make it. Is too slow, and they don't do a great job of that press defense that the SEC loves. I still think Florida is going to be the one to make it to at least the Elite Eight. I don't know if that's crazy. Purdue, I just don't trust them this year. I think they're not the Purdue of the past. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that they're very offensive heavy and they're very like Braden Smith heavy. Shout out to the Texans. And I mean, Tennessee's not a bad pick. I can't remember. Listen, putting Duke anywhere is not a bad pick at all. I don't know if Duke, Michigan State's to move. So UConn is much stronger than people. Yeah.
Now, this is some of the stuff that I know. Duke's fucking hurt. And Duke has a semi-easy path to the Sweet 16 and to the Elite Eight. And then if they run into Michigan State, which, I mean, that's a 3 seed. They're a 3 seed for a reason. And I think they had a pretty good season too.
They had a fine season, Michigan State wise.
If Duke isn't ready, I feel like that first challenge could be we've skated by because we have talent, but we are injured. Oh, here's a real like hard opponent, or harder opponent, I should say, and then Michigan State can take advantage of it. That's my thoughts.
Maybe Michigan State, maybe UConn, maybe anyone else. I will say this: I don't know if I believe Duke's getting to the Final Four or the national championship. Sure, I don't think they're getting there. The Final Four, I'm not as sure of. I mean, again, it's Duke. They're always going to put up a fight. I don't think it's a bad. Listen, as I will always say, I lose this consistently. And I am not great at this sometimes. I also overthink this. I do think UConn's probably coming out of the East, which is, I don't think it's a crazy pick. I will say this. I feel like this year, more than other years, it's very big conference heavy. I think I don't know if we'll see a Cinderella this year. I don't, I always say I don't expect when no one expects a Cinderella. That's
so let's define that real quick. What is a Cinderella and how deep do they have to go? Like if you're a 16 seed and you make it to the round of 32, I'd still say you're kind of you're a Cinderella.
Yeah. I mean,
if you're like a 8 seed and you make it to the Final Four, that's a Cinderella story, right? Like what's the ratio of rank to how far they go?
I will give you the answer that the Supreme Court used to define porn. You'll know when you see it. I don't know if there's a perfect definition for a Cinderella. Like if you see a 14 seed make it to the second weekend, that's a little bit of a Cinderella. Like a 8-14 seed to the Elite Eight. If you see this in the Final Four, that's insane. I don't know something's gone wrong. It depends on what the 8 is. If the 8's like San Diego State, I think 3 years ago was a 9 seed and made it to the Final Four. And it's like no one called this Cinderella per se.
That's crazy. That's a crazy run.
But it's also San Diego State, which is like historically pretty good at basketball. If it's like if like a Cal Baptist makes it to the second weekend, Elite Eight, that's a Cinderella right there. Cal Baptist could, they're not, but they could. They're one of the upset picks this year. I see a lot of people making over Kansas. Kansas is
people getting too cute with it.
Yeah, like Kansas is for sure. They're not the Kansas of old. They've run into some bad form at the end of the year. They're not hot right now. Which again, what do you want to be in March Madness? You want to be hot. At the same time, Cal State, is it Cal? Yeah, Cal State or Cal Baptist, not Cal State. Cal Baptist. Let me check real quickly because I want to make sure I'm not crazy. I think they are the fastest. No, that's Cal Poly. I just saw Cal. It's hard to beat a team that's as stacked as Kansas, and just like, and that's again another point I was trying to make, and I'll make the point I've been trying to make. The good teams are the good teams this year, and I think this will be the year where we realize, yes, NIL and the transfer portal have helped these mid-major teams really step up their game. But there are also times where the transfer portal NIL make sure the big teams stay the big teams for a reason. And as much as I look around, like every single like little team we're like, oh, could make a run this year. I look and go like, yeah, but they really can't though, right? Like you're looking at who they play. Like even Louisville, South Florida, people are like, South Florida can make that. I'm looking at them like, yeah, but like Louisville is actually pretty good. Like yeah, they're in the ACC. They're probably not as good as like you could be, but like South Florida is not the team you think it is. I think I had some stats here. I don't know if I have it pulled up right now, but oh yeah, Louisville again. They're also underseeded. They're 19 in Ken Palm, but they're a 6 seed, which means they should probably be higher. So that's what. That's about. No. I'm trying to do math in my head. I'm not good at math. I apologize. They should be like a 4 or a 5 seed technically. Louisville also has top 20 efficiency, and like as much as I want to say like, oh yeah, USF like could, they're not. They're not going to do it.
But that's the love of the game, baby.
That's the love of the game. I know. And the problem is I look at
Virginia like, was never going to lose to that 16 seed.
I mean, Purdue is probably the best example of a team that was going to lose the entire time because the basic, hey, what happens if someone presses you?
Really is this your Zach Edey love?
Yes, my love of Zach Edey where a 13-year-old told me I was stupid. Yeah, touch a woman first.
Can't tell children to touch women. Let's stay in.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't care. I'm not saying whatever. I was gonna say something. I was like, I don't want to. I don't make it worse.
Reel it in.
I was listening to mostly basketball. Mark Titus said something. They were just like, "Shut the fuck up, Mark. Keep moving." And I'll tell you after this because I don't want to say it because I don't want to listen to this podcast. But no, it was like no one ever pressed them in the Big Ten. Like, just no one ever did. And it's like, well, why didn't someone do that? And then they got to the tournament and Fairleigh Dickinson pressed them. And you're like, oh, yeah, they probably should learn how to get past that. And then, like, Zach Edey wasn't, and it's going to kill me again. People are going to kill me. Not that, like, I say not that athletic. He's very athletic from, like, a normal person perspective. But from, like,
so that's what people don't realize when us fucking, I'm not fat, larger, non-super athlete people are like, that person's not athletic. I'm not saying that to the average person they're not athletic. I'm comparing them to their peers.
Yeah. Zach Edey is closer to LeBron than I am to him, to Zach Edey.
Yeah.
At the same time.
The white
Scalabrini. Yeah, Scalabrini. With that said, he's not as athletic as he should be if he's the most important player on your team. 100%. I don't remember. This is kind of rambling at this point. I don't know how I'm going to make any clips out of this. But I do think there's going to be a lot of top heaviness this year, as there was kind of last year too.
Not a whole bunch of upsets coming our way.
And I say that, and a match should be like the first game is a destructive bracket. But I feel
first game.
Actually, I have no clue what the first game is. Whatever the 11 a.m. game is on the Thursday, bless you. You're the best thing that ever happened to the sport. But yeah, I'm just not like
TCU, Ohio State. That is a fucking fun game to start with.
It's going to be a fun game to start with. This may be my. I want to be so biased for the Big 12.
But
it hurts me to say this.
But
TCU has better tempo and pressure. Ohio State's way more efficient. And I've also seen TCU play.
And TCU's also way more hot right now than Ohio State is.
100%. And maybe that, again, I haven't locked in my bracket yet. And that should be the important part. Like, I know who's going to win. I know who's going to win. I've decided who's going to win. That's not changing. And which hurts me because I have to kill a team I love to help let that team win.
I have Ohio State winning as well.
Ohio State winning this game. Now, if TCU wins this game, am I going to be shocked? Not really. But like, it's not like I know they're, it's like an upset. Technically, it's an 8 and a 9. Also, they're both Big Four conference teams. Like, there's no such thing as an upset between two big conference teams. It just doesn't exist. Oh my gosh, you have 120 in NIL versus 100 in NIL. Oh my gosh, what an upset. It's not really an upset. Okay. Well, that was the first game. Sorry, I was going to look at my notes again because I have St. John's, Northern Iowa, which again, a big pick people like. St. John's is going to win that. Okay, this is what I want to talk about. UCLA versus UCF. This is technically, UCLA plays slower and has better defense. But Mick Cronin, I hate. I just don't like him very much. And he complained about seeing the Statue of Liberty too many times this season. Or was it last season? It's one of the seasons. And he's playing on the East Coast. And UCF is the East Coast. I just really want them to beat. Like, this is actually just a hard pick. I really want UCF to beat UCLA.
You just said not to take. No, you said South Florida.
Yeah, South Florida. This is UCF, University of Central Florida, which is part of the Space Bowl between UH and UCF.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but it's another one of those big picks that I'm like, yeah, theoretically, like if you tell me UCLA plays a little more slowly, better defense, I'll be like, yeah, they should win. But I really fucking hate Mick Cronin. I don't like. I think it'd be really funny if he lost on the East Coast. So I'm picking UCF on that one. This is really just a hate pick.
Listen, as a certified hate better and emotional, like I've got to cover my asser. Like I bet heavy against. Of course, this is going to sound bad. Bet heavy against Notre Dame whenever we made the national championship because I was like, yes, I would pay this amount of money to win a national championship. So please. And if we lost, at least I was like, the amount of alcohol I'm about to consume to forget this, at least is going to be covered.
Yeah, I probably should do that. That's yeah. So I was looking at my bracket again. One more thing. Utah State's going to be Villanova. I think Villanova is really inconsistent this year. And it's also, I looked this up. Utah State is a 9 seed with a top 30 metric. They win very often. So this is an upset. Huh? Now, Brian, would you like to know who I think is going to win this all?
Do tell.
Arizona. They're my pick to win this all. Now,
I'm going deep.
You may look at me and say, Jordan, it's because they're in the Big 12, and you just lost to them twice, and you're like, well, of course they have to win. They're the better team.
Actually, that's the most fun thing I could do. You've convinced me, and I'm changing. Bye, Michigan. Michigan now loses to Arizona because I need for this podcast Arizona, Houston in the finals, and you just to watch you squirm a little bit.
Here's the funny thing: if it was Arizona, Houston in the finals, I actually feel better because it's hard to take 3 from a team. Like that's really hard to take 3 from a team. So I actually don't hate that.
But it would be frustrating.
Oh, it'd be so frustrating, Brian. So I'd be like, I've seen this 3 times already, this mistake you keep making.
Hey, 117. Is that a fair point total with Arizona, Houston? Y'all are more defensive, right?
Oh, sorry. I threw it as 177 in my mind. Yeah, 117 is completely doable. Because
So you think it should be higher? This is the tiebreaker, you think?
Yeah, because
135.
Because the Big 12 Conference Championship was 79-75, I think. So that's what 154, if I get that right.
Going 144.
Yeah, I think that's
my final.
Yeah, I think that's a better one right there. Yeah. But that said, I actually think I have right now. Again, this may be Jordan loves the Big 12 and he has his friends in the Big 12. Huh? I have Iowa State winning the Midwest. Now, maybe also because that's a bit of a home for them because they're a Midwest team. I love TJ Altenberger with a passion. I love the way he runs his team, the way the team operates. I think they're hotter. They also if if Hilton comes, where's the mid? The question actually I should have is where the Midwest final is. No clue. And it doesn't say on here, so oopsie. But we're doing so much research here. But if they are in the Midwest, like the actual proper Midwest, and not like we're in Illinois Midwest. Even though Illinois is the Midwest.
Illinois is very much the
yeah,
Midwest.
yeah.
You mean like Idaho?
Yeah, kind of like Idaho. Because if Hilton travels well, that's a win.
Damn, now I gotta look at a map.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Idaho's more to like also the west, way to the west. So theoretically, it's more the west.
Yeah, Idaho is like they share a border with fucking Washington and Oregon and Nevada. Yeah, no, they should not be considered the Midwest, but I do hear the Midwest sometimes when referring to them.
Yeah. Oh, Brian,
the Dakotas don't even really feel like the Midwest, to be honest.
Brian, I just looked it up. Huh? It's in the Midwest finals or regionals in Chicago.
Okay, so smack dab.
Yeah. So I mean, again, that's actually easy.
Actually, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm interrupting. I'm a fucking idiot. Never mind.
No, but that's Chicago's easy for the Michigan to travel to as well.
I want to Michigan's or Chicago. I know they are considered the Midwest region, but like they're really the Mid-East region.
They feel it.
If you look at a map,
I almost count Chicago as like a Great Lake state. Yeah, like I know they're Midwest, but like it feels like Great Lakes versus Midwest is different from each other. Like Illinois should be mostly Great Lake versus Midwest.
Sorry, I'm looking up a to scale map. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. They're more east than they are even to the center. Mm-hmm. The Midwest, by definition, should be like North Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Colorado, Wyoming.
Oh, do you wait till you figure out that Toronto's lower than a lot of lower latitudinally.
Yeah. Than Michigan and Minnesota, North Dakota. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. I always thought they were smack dab.
No,
but they're fucking east of us.
No, it's very east. Oh, also, I want to point this out. So, you know how like Georgia is known for its crime, like Georgia football is known for its crimes of speeding and reckless endangerment.
Yes.
So I've now dubbed Alabama basketball the home of the weird crime.
Weird crime? The what crime?
Is a weird. Well, not maybe the heinous crime. Actually, is the felonious crime.
Felonious,
because you had it was 2 years ago where that guy gave a gun to help a murder and was on the Alabama basketball. I'm sorry, the name escapes me. I'm terrible with names.
I know who you're talking about though.
And then Aiden Holloway got arrested with a pound of weed recently, which is I think intent to distribute. So as
grams, 1 pound to gram.
That's a lot.
I know that you buy. Oh, that's 400. Oh my god.
Yeah,
453 grams.
I'm pretty sure.
That's a lot of weed.
I don't know. I was gonna say I think intent to distribute is actually relatively low, in terms of grams. With that said, what I am saying is that as Georgia football is known for its speeding crimes, its car crimes, Alabama basketball is known for its felonious crimes. Also, it's kind of like Clear Lake, where there's always a weird crime. Clear Lake is the home of weird crimes in Houston.
Yeah. We never had too many murders. We never had too many robberies, but we had weird shit with cars a lot of times.
No, we had that like alligator last year. I say we. I don't know anymore.
Someone's like, well, I always kind of put myself there, but I know you don't like CL very much.
I mean, I certainly don't like it. I just don't live there. I've lived there for years at this point.
I'm so sorry. I've confused you with another friend who had some heinous things go down in Clear Lake. Yeah. And I will tell you after this the podcast.
Okay. Nothing heinous happened to me other than like high school. That was heinous, but that was more high school. But yeah, I was looking through my notes and I saw Alabama and I needed to make sure that I said that. With that said,
4 ounces, by the way, in Texas, 4 ounces
yeah.
and more. So he had 4 times the amount.
Yeah. So I think he's been removed from the team now and removed from campus, because I feel like if you're in for a felony, you really can't play in these. Now, there is part of me that goes, just let him play. Why not?
Okay.
Like, it also is just weed, and I imagine he just bought that for himself. A lot of, I mean, listen, if you win the win the NCAA tournament, you have a lot to party with. So,
I mean, that's a gallon-sized bag.
Sorry.
No,
Antibiotics. No, antibiotics. I usually mute myself. Oh no, wait. It wasn't a pound, it was 2.1 pounds of marijuana. That's what he's found. It's in his apartment. They found 2.1 in his apartment.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's so much weed.
So, Aiden Holloway, have fun in federal prison. I don't really know how you talk your way out of this one.
It's Alabama. Alabama's not even medical, I don't think.
I don't think so. They don't even. I mean, they even did the deltas. Who knows? I
think they have the deltas and the. Hey, we pumped this so much full of CBD that you'll feel something. So we added the less than 0.1% or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know if I trust that stuff completely after you know the story.
Yeah,
you know the story. My brain's jamming. That's why I'm like this because of that. Okay. I don't know if I have really any other more notes. I can give you my final four that I'm pretty sure I'm going to take, which is going to be UConn. I'm putting Florida only because I have to hedge my bets for myself. If I choose anything other than not Houston, I'll be sad. I chose him to win last year, and I still have not gotten over it. I'm not kidding you. Worst moment of my life was sitting in the Alamo Dome, and this close, and it was this close. And
I felt like such a jerk off whenever I saw the ending, and my first thought was holy shit. Second thought was he's gonna be so mad for the podcast.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm sure you had the same type of feeling 2 years ago.
No, it wasn't my first thought. It was later because my first thought was I want to get the fuck out of the stadium now.
No. I'm saying whenever this happened with Ohio.
Oh
State.
yeah. When I was
that sucks. What a game. Brian's gonna be a
good Brian Con.
And
I think we talked about it afterwards, and you were like, "I don't remember that podcast."
After.
Yeah, you were like, "I don't remember that podcast at all." You're like,
I just stared. I'm staring at it right now. There's a Tetris lamp I have right here that my wife got me. And it's you build it together, and if they're touching each the individual blocks, I just stared at that while you were talking, and then I'd be like, "I'm hurt."
Yeah, I said I told you the whole thing. There was once a girl who I was dating for 2.5 years, kind of on and off. I was going to marry her. Ghosted me. Moved to Seattle with another guy. Doesn't even come close to how much I hurt in that Alamo Dome that night. That was after also $40 worth of beer, which was 2 fucking beers.
That's banana land.
Yeah. All right. Iowa State in the Midwest. I love Iowa State. I think they're better than Michigan. I also am just a homer. And then Arizona, which, as we know, I think is going to win the entire thing. I don't know if I have any other talking points on March Madness. We're going to have more talking points next week after the first round. First and second round of the tournament.
So, proposal for March Madness. Do we want to do Mondays? That way we can pump out the podcast on Tuesday. That way we have the initial reaction for the weekend.
You know what? Great idea. We'll do it Monday during the usual time. Sorry, this is logistics. When we record. And
no, the listeners get to know that means it's coming out on Tuesday.
We'll pump it out on Tuesday and have some great reactions, and then we'll have predictions for the weekend ahead. Here's the thing. I know it's going to be a great weekend, and it's going to be so fun. We have 28 times 2, which I think is 56 hours of basketball coming our way.
Aren't you apple picking or some shit?
No, I'm going to the rodeo, which I did not realize the date.
Which day is it?
It's Thursday, the 19th.
Oh.
And
well,
so
when does U of H play?
Pretty sure they play the 19th.
I thought I'm hoping for you.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. As much as I don't love that I'm missing the first game, at the same time, it is the Idaho game. So it's here's the thing, if they win, they're going to win big. If they lose to Idaho, I don't want to watch it anyway. So it's kind of a win-win for me.
Yeah, Thursday night they're the late game. They're 9-10.
Ooh, rodeo ends at like 9 something.
Gets the second half.
Catch the second half on the way
Also,
home.
brave of you to go to the rodeo with all that shit that's going on.
It's
that shit.
That's the thing. It was a Saturday night. It was just people. It's the spring breakers around the town fighting each other. They've also instituted like new codes. I'm guessing actually, it's like after a terror attack in a place, and the prices go down, and the security's ramped up. I feel safer now because I'm like, yeah, like of course they're gonna check for guns. Gonna check for knives more. I'll go through extra security. I don't care.
I think they said teenagers under the age of 16 will have to be accompanied with an adult or something like that.
As much as like I want teenagers to be able to exist, and like I do consistently say there's not enough spaces for teenagers to exist these days. When I was a teenager and you were a teenager and we were teenagers, which was too long ago, I was never like a dick about being in this public space.
Oh hell no! Especially because we lived in the fucking hard streets of Clear Lake, Texas.
You wouldn't survive out there like we did. We sometimes had to drive the speed limit.
Doctors, engineers, and
NASA.
Yeah,
we went to the only public school in America on federal property. So we went to hard times for us. Sometimes like when I'm in the public and they're just acting full, I'm like, I get it, like you're having fun, but not in public, boys. Let's calm it down a little bit. So,
I mean, I could give you the whole rant because I get this because my wife is a teacher who teaches middle schoolers, and she's just like each year gets more and more disrespectful because the psychology behind it is, and this is a theory. This is not known facts. So this is what I've come to terms with from people I know that teachers and people that know are parents. A little bit older than us, a little bit like 5-6 years. Boomer parents were fucking rough on their kids, emotionally more than anything else. Not so much physically, but emotionally. And I feel like parents now are so like, I'm not doing that to my child. I'm going to coddle the fuck out of them and let them know they're loved, which translates to you're not going to get in trouble for shit. So it's because it's the perfect example is in middle school or elementary school or even high school. If a coach or teacher was like, I'm calling your mother or I'm calling your father, I would want to die. I'm like, oh, this ends horribly for me. I've done fucked it up. This is going to suck.
Yeah. Even now. And I love my parents so much. I think they did a great job raising me and my siblings. I had the whole thing with my mouth, antibiotics. I wasn't eating a ton because I wasn't hungry, didn't want to eat. My girlfriend goes, I'll call your mom and tell her you're not eating. I was like, okay, I'll eat. I'm sorry. Even at this big age, I'm like, I'm not dealing with that. I don't want to, it's not like I don't want to talk to my mom. It's like, I don't want my mom mad at me.
I 100% get it because I feel the same way. I was very blessed to have a very good relationship with, and I was a little shit. I was the problem, but they did really well raising one of their sons, and then their other one was a fucking piece of shit.
Hey, you turned out really well. Don't do that to yourself.
I'm a 30-year-old that finally went to school, Jordan.
Yeah, but listen, we all take our own paths, all right?
Fair enough.
No, it's not like, I like, honestly, I kind of hate the path I took. I should have gone to school that early, whatever.
My biggest thing is I should have gone back to school when I was 20. I should have taken 2 years off, just worked, lived at home, saved some money, then go back to school. And because graduating at 24 compared to 25.
Yeah. Not that big of a deal.
Or 24 instead of 22. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I think about it all the time. Like at 18, was I really that mature? Like obviously I wasn't, but like I think about like, I could have done better in school. Like I think I did well in school, but like I could have done better in school if I had really locked in at that time.
I did not give a fuck in high school, and it screwed me when I went to college immediately because I was like, I can bullshit my way through college like I did high school.
Dude, there are times in Clear Lake High School. I don't know. Fuck it. We said we were from Clear Lake.
About it with Blake.
Did a really good job preparing us in that. Some classes were hard, but then there were other classes that were like, I don't give a fuck. And actually, I'd like to thank a couple of teachers who got me through college algebra. No issues. Then I fell asleep in that class. I went there for the quizzes. But with all that said, Brian, I think we have a couple more things to talk about because I don't want to go over an hour too much. we are no longer Charlie Kirk here in Houston.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's not the Texans news I thought you were gonna...
Okay.
We signed an offensive lineman from the Browns, and he's a 3-time Pro Bowler, and it's actually like a
real offensive lineman.
What?
A real offensive lineman?
I have another joke to tell you after that I saw on Twitter.
I have a joke as well that I heard from Rich Eisen, which I'll say here. I was listening to him on the way home. He goes, "You think Nick Bosa got a little excited seeing that name?" And I was like, "Haha, thanks, Rich Eisen. That was a good joke." But
is Nick Bosa a free agent?
No, Nick Bosa on the.
Oh, yeah. Okay, right. For Kirk, Kirk going.
Yeah, see Kirk. But yeah, that's stolen from Rich Eisen.
He's going to be so disappointed.
Oh no, he's going to be so sad. I think Rich Eisen made the joke of like, you think he smiled a little bit when he saw that for like a half a second, and the other guy goes, no, he didn't. And it's like, okay, but yeah, I will miss Christian Kirk. I'm very sad that he's gone. But hearing the news of another lineman, a 3-time Pro Bowler, after this, the great wall of holes we've had for the past however many years.
The Swiss cheese.
The Swiss cheese, which Swiss cheese is one of the best sandwich cheeses.
We got to save this for debate season, brother, man.
That's one
hell
of the
best. No. It is the most overrated cheese in my opinion.
Oh, it goes so well with you get ham, turkey. Yep. Give me any kind of meat.
So many better cheeses to put on
chicken.
A sandwich.
No,
provolone, pepper jack.
Pepper jack depends on the sandwich you're making. Swiss, you can make it in any sandwich. Pepper jack, you have to be ready for it.
That's not true. You can't make it for any sandwich.
Well, no, okay.
If you get a meatball marinara, what are you putting on?
Well, Brian, you put banana peppers on it, so I don't know if that counts.
No, that's not what happened. I was like, babe, we're gonna order sandwiches. I turned away, forgot that I selected a meatball marinara because I got distracted for something with school. So I thought in my head I had a chicken, oven roasted chicken. Mm-hmm. So I put all the stuff that I put on an oven roasted chicken on a fucking meatball marinara, which was onion, which was banana pepper. Onion's not that bad, by the way. Onion you could have played. Banana pepper, pushing it. Pickles. What were the other two things? Mayo, which probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It just makes it a little bit more. It's just fats. Yeah. The killer, the real bad bitch, was the yellow mustard. And when I opened my sandwich and looked at it, I went, "Oh God damn it!" And I ate it. And you want to know what the worst part of all of it was, Jordan? It was I thought it said buy one get one free. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm gonna get a 6-inch sub, and that way I have a foot-long sub. No. Brian selected buy one get one free foot long. So not only did I have this monstrosity of a sandwich, I had 2 of them, and all of them got 8 over the next 2 days.
Dude, Aiden Holloway would be like, "Man, that's a little too much for me."
It wasn't. I hated myself during it. I was actively upset. I was like, I paid for this fucking food. I'm gonna eat this because we ordered it. That's the problem. Is we ordered it from DoorDash.
Oh, okay. I guarantee it's even worse. That's even worse.
The people there. That's what I was saying. That's how I forgot. It was I was doing it on her phone on DoorDash. Dude, this is the most boomer thing I've ever done. Yeah. Just doing that. I was doing the DoorDash.
You did this too.
And then something happened. I got an email for school, and I put the phone down and read the email. I was like, "Oh, this is." I have to reply to this immediately. Picked back up the phone. It was like, "What toppings do you want on it?" I was like, "Duh, this." Hit enter, submit. Completely forgot about it. Didn't think. I guarantee the DoorDasher and whoever made the sandwich were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, so I don't know where you order from, but the person there is like, "This is the most disgusting." Like whenever on TikTok someone says like, "Here's the most disgusting sandwich I've ever made," your order's on there.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, and it wasn't very good, and I ate it all.
I mean, as you should. Here's the thing. I don't
waste food, man.
And also if you pay for it, come on.
That's my favorite thing. Last thing, I promise we can get back on topic and we'll finish it out. That's my thing about leftovers. I love my wife so much. 90% of the time she takes leftovers, it's not getting eaten, which is like, "Oh, that sucks. You throw away a lot of food." Oh, no. This is a very much, I'm going to beg for forgiveness instead of asking for permission type thing where I just eat the leftover and it disappears and she either does not notice, does not comment, or does not care.
I think I had the same problem somewhat where I'm like, "It's been 2 days. You haven't eaten. I'm going to eat it now."
Yeah, I keep her, but for stuff I know she likes, I'm like, "All right, you're not in the house. if I'm opening this fridge and it's lunchtime and I see that thing staring at me 2 days from now, it's done. It's over. So you got 2 days to do it. So she normally is like, if it's something she actually wants, she normally will be like, all right, Tupperware, put it in, taking this to work with me. If she doesn't want it, she's like, just fucking eat it.
Okay. Well, we'll save that for the summer. Hopefully we'll also do more interviews. I think I have a list and you have a list, and we'll try to find more people. Well, we have friends and we also have people we follow online, but there will be friends along the way. Who will be? There's one friend I want to talk to, who's a musician. I want to talk to her. I know she said June. I want to talk to her in May.
Soccer.
Because her team, not doing that hot right now, might be relegated. They did draw with Liverpool this weekend, but let me see where Tottenham. She's been sending me a lot more text.
So does your social interaction with her depend on how Tottenham's doing?
100%. And I say that with love.
Tottenham's great. You two are talking all the time.
No, actually, we talk less. The worse Tottenham does, the more she's like, I fucking hate this.
She goes off in the. I love college football season. I want her on for college football.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because some of the funniest shit is if I have something to do on a Saturday, or if I'm watching the Notre Dame game, so I'm not paying attention to anything else, and my phone just goes ding, 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 ding. I'm like, something happened in the Texas game.
Yeah. So Tottenham is currently 16th in the league. They had 30 points. The relegation zone is 18th, 19, 20. The top team in the relegation zone is 18th, has 29 points. So they're 1 point off the relegation zone, which means one bad move.
So every tie counts now.
Every point counts now. So I was gonna text her and see if she has a statement for this, but I won't read her text out. But it's been some. I love her.
Colorful
so much. Colorful. So everyone did. Depending on how Tottenham does. If Tottenham gets relegated, we'll see. Brian, where can people find you? I was gonna ask something else, but totally forgot what it is. Where can the people find you?
You can find me across all social media, now including YouTube. I started uploading my streams. At Auric Polaris, and of course mainly at twitch.tv/Auric Polaris, AURICPOLARIS. I don't know what I'm doing this week for stream wise. So Jordan, where can the people find you?
I mean, Jordan's thoughts on Twitter. I'll probably be tweeting a lot more this week, given that it's the best wonderful time of the year. If I may,
the most active our account gets, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. Find me at Moonstep Sports across all platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I think that's all of them. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you. I was going to say, we'll see you on Monday or Tuesday. So please like, share, subscribe, rate, whatever you can do, whatever you are on. I'm slurring my words because my mouth hurts. And we'll see you next week.
Archer's back, baby.